Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
Kirk is a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead.
Now let's show you a little bit from the No Kings rally that is going across the country. And I have to say, it's a little weird being out of the country and then seeing these things. It makes them seem doubly weird. Here is a bit from one of the No Kings rallies.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
Justice!
When do we want?
Now!
If we don't get it.
All right. So first off, the lady who was doing this and that little motion, shot in the neck motion, that lady, she was doing that pointed to a car that had a placard of Charlie Kirk. Turns out she was a public school teacher in New Jersey. The reason I say was now it turns out she no longer is a public school teacher. But these people are out there. They're rallying, they're protesting, they're exercising their rights as Americans, and that's all totally fine. Now, I think they're completely misguided. I'm not sure they realize what the issues are, and you could argue that it's just the next morphing of BLM, and then it became Hamas rallies, and now it's No King rallies, and it's largely all the same people, and we'll get to some of the coordination and some of the funding in just a second. But here's, if you want to just listen to just sort of, I would say, a stereotypical person who is out there. What do they kind of generally think about everything? Take a look.
I have to ask this because people on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean. Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
Kirk is a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being. It was disgusting, the things that he said and did. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I have to point my energy in other directions.
Okay, there's a couple of things here. First off, you might say, Dave, that's a little heavy-handed. Does that woman represent most of the people there? But I actually don't think it's heavy-handed. If you were to poll most of the however many millions of people, and there were millions of people, it was an awful lot of people all over the country that were out there, how many of them actually would say that Charlie Kirk was just a decent American and had a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that he could exercise his free speech and everything else? Now, she basically was celebrating his death. I don't know what percentage would go that far. But then the next thing is the key part when she then says, well, Hitler is dead and that is good. The implication is that it's good that Charlie Kirk is dead. Well, lady, you might want to think about what you're actually doing there, because not only are you instigating violence, and we know how violent the left has become, but people on the other side might look at someone like you and say, boy, that woman seems really, really hateful. She's celebrating the fact that Charlie Kirk is dead. Maybe I should kill her. So once you open this Pandora's box, you better be careful. A lot of stuff will fall out. We have had a basically violence-free society for many, many decades, right? In the 60s, there were a lot of political assassinations. And then we went 40, 50 plus years really without much. Then Trump was almost killed. Then Charlie was killed. And now people are out on the streets openly and brazenly celebrating it and explaining to you why they think it's okay. Guys, it's time to strut into the bedroom like your junk just got a VIP invite to the party. Blue Chew's chewable tablets are a motivational coach for your man parts, giving you harder, stronger, longer-lasting edge like your downstairs just chugged a protein shake and hit the weights. When you pop a Blue Chew tablet, your confidence will be so high that your shadow will call you Big Papa. It's not just sex. It's like your pelvis is auditioning for an action movie called The Boner Identity. Guys, this just isn't about performance. It's cementing your third legacy. Emphasis on leg. Who wrote this? Head on over to BlueChew.com to check out your options and level up your game. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew absolutely free. Just use promo code Rubin at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head on over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Now, interestingly, also, that woman comes across as kind of a probably upper middle class person of a certain age. You would think, as I always say about Nancy Pelosi, maybe it's like, lady, go play with your grandchildren instead of being out there celebrating the murder of your political opponents. But there were an awful lot of people out there. And even on NBC, this is NBC Boston, the local affiliate, they had to admit that most of the crowd was, let's say, a little less than young.
This is an older crowd. There's not a lot of folks, and granted, it's a big crowd here. I'm not good at estimating, but it's definitely over 2,000, maybe close to 3,000. We can't see everyone, but it's an older crowd. A lot of white hair. You see out there Q-tips, as we used to call them in the business, and they're out protesting, and not a lot of young people.
Okay, so that's sort of interesting. Not a lot of young people, Q-tips, as we used to call them, a lot of old people. Now, there were plenty of young people out there, too, but it is sort of interesting that it seems to me that the boomer generation, which clearly has a certain percentage of people that are wildly afflicted with Trump derangement syndrome, are out there protesting. And of course, again, you can protest. It's your right as an American to do it. But why are these people at this point so brainwashed to think that Donald Trump is a king, a man who won every swing state, won the map quite soundly against an absolutely awful candidate whose entire candidacy was fraudulent, from the coup that she put against the sitting president to his entire presidency with the auto pen and everything else?